Hi everyone, my name is Sasha Woods. I'm an undergrad student with Grand Canyon University, and today I will be talking about America's history and how it's changed over various courses throughout the years. And I will also talk about some resources that can help you with your questions. A brief history on special education before 1970 and to the 1970s and currently the present day. The United States of America has always had students with disabilities, and up until 1970 into the present, the options for special education students were very limited. This also included private schools. Parents were pulling their children out of both public and private schools and paying tutors. Over 4 million children with disabilities were actually affected in the United States by public education. By 1930, various advocacy groups had formed for students with disabilities. These groups consisted of parents and school officials and educators. These groups were formed in order to provide more of a voice for special education students. Despite the efforts made, minor changes were only made until the 1950s. And by the 1960s, funding was officially provided for special education students. And by 1970, major changes occurred in the special education system. These changes were still limited, but made necessary leaps and bounds for students with disabilities. They made it possible for students to have access to a proper and equal education. By 1973, the Rehabilitation Act came about, which made it to where students with disabilities could not be discriminated on or against with federally funded facilities. In 1975, the EHA Act was established, and this was to protect students with disabilities and ensure that students with disabilities would receive both a free and appropriate education to meet their needs. EHA was eventually replaced with Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is also called IDEA. The IDEA emphasized on the importance of providing comprehensive education to all children with disabilities, which allowed IEPs, which are individualized education plans, to be created by school officials for students with disabilities. When IDEA came about, it wasn't only for the students but also the families. It was to help protect and advocate for the families. By 1974, the Family Educational Rights Act was established to protect the privacy of educational records for students as well. It also allowed parents and guardians to review and request and make accommodations to their students' plans. It gave parents more of a voice and allowed students more success in the classrooms with education, which ultimately changed the course of how special education went, and it helped create it to what it is to be today. As of today, there are so many resources available for students with special needs and for special education. The National PTA has partnered with the Council for Exceptional Children to provide parents with professional and necessary resources to help their students with disabilities. The goal of the Council for Exceptional Children is to improve success rates of students with special needs. It works with school staff, families to provide them with the necessary support and resources. Support is huge when it comes to working with children with special needs, to make sure that they always get what they need. The Family Support Network of New York of NC is also an online resource that provides confidential and free information as well as referrals and support for family and students with special needs. It also offers an educational workshop, training to help parents and students with disabilities. When it comes to students with disabilities and special education, resources are endless currently, and they continue to grow more and more. We have grown leaps and bounds since the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, and so on. We can always do better and always grow more, but with these new things put into place, special education has definitely taken a major turn, and children are seeing more success. Thank you for your time.